what is that, a piano? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I've never done this before.
Welcome to Spinsters, a podcast where the feelings are still flowing. This is part 2. I'm Jordan. That's Haley. And we are so excited to continue our conversation with Katie Heindl.
It's hard. A lot of these are just waiting to get out, you know?
I know. This is a good release. I'll go next with my also the only time I cuss is on this podcast. So sorry if I hesitate. But so we're going with, again, not people who we would fuck, but the situation, the aura of them. That's what entices me. And I think we could probably all agree on this one. But Ja Morant's highlights is something that it has a variety. It's different every night. It's exciting. And I do love them. But what's stopping me from crossing the line of, this is marriage potential is because we talk about all the time, how long is this going to last? Like how fearful or fearless he is of jumping out of the gym, jumping over people, doing these outrageous, outlandish things. Is it going to last forever? I don't know. But right now, it is very, very exciting. And I love watching him play. You don't know what highlight's going to come up next. When you talk to somebody like, oh, did you see that Ja highlight? They have to ask which one because he does so many things every single game. So yeah, I have a huge smile on my face. I get very excited when I talk about Ja.
That's an excellent one. That's really good. Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, the thing I worry most about Ja is like, at least I did at first, but I feel like it seems like he can bend, physics and kind of gravity to his will, but was just like landing,
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't really seem to even matter anymore.
Well, he's changed the way he landed.
Yeah.
So, but I do think that what's stopping me from, I think, fully, I don't know, jumping on the train, but I fully support him, but I just am so annoyed with the ceiling conversations. We had one when a couple months ago when we were talking about who would you rather have, and I thought that was interesting, but it just doesn't stop, because he's having such a good year, and I don't think people are quite able to grasp in a year or a season like the last couple seasons we've had, what a 6'3", what is he, 180 guy who is hyper athletic and is skilled, but has probably what they see as physical limitations to his game. I just am a little bit over, and this is part of my Mary section, the let's project what is going to happen to someone 10 years in the future. And not even in a way where it's not fun to talk about it. I would love to talk about who Ja reminds me of and who, what he could be in a way where you're I don't like the over prescribing to something in a way that it doesn't make it fun anymore. It's almost like betting the under on a game. You know what I mean? Who wants to bet that this team's not going to reach a certain amount of points? You always want to cheer for points. You always want to cheer for scoring. You don't want to bet a scoring under. And so similar to that, I don't like to have the conversations where people say stuff like, well, his ceiling's just not that high because XXXX. And that's very basic basketball commentary. So maybe I should engage in those more. But ever since I stopped having to write that blog format, I just realized how much I don't enjoy any conversation that's just total speculation. We have no idea based on the things that people are saying. We kind of have an idea, but not enough of an idea to say, this guy you guys are all so excited about, who I love watching, I feel the need to constantly tweet about how he's actually not going to be a huge force in 7.5 years.
Yeah, because it's the right now. Like, the present is what makes Ja so exciting. It's night after night, and that's what is so fun to watch about him. It's just thinking about the NBA in 5 years, 10 years is a daunting task. Like, the basketball that we're getting right now is fun, and that's what excites me. And so I totally agree with that, of trying to put a limitation on somebody or trying to speculate if they're going to stay with the franchise, if they go here or there, and what that's going to look like for their skill. I think it's just being a fan of the sport. You want to watch them play each possession, and that's Ja. You don't know what's gonna happen. If we stop those take fouls, we might get more highlights from him. No, I'm just kidding. But that's what I'm obsessed with right now, is watching those highlights and seeing him have fun play basketball too. That's always a fun for me.
I think a silver lining of like the negative takeaways that both of you have with that, which I have as well, just like the conversation around ceiling, is it's almost going extinct, because like players don't develop the same way anymore. Like, they don't play the same way anymore. Careers don't have to look the same anymore. You don't have we talked about Jared Allen already. Of course, I would gladly talk about him again, but he's a good example of that. Like, he's a good example of his whole life. He was asked to play like center. He was asked to just play one single role. He wasn't really asked to play make. He wasn't asked to like do all these things that now he's being asked to, and he's like really like thrilling in and also very good at. Ja's the same. There's so many young players right now. Like the Raptors, the whole lineup is like that, right? Like, it's just where it's like, if you can't, to be like a modern NBA player, you don't develop in the same way anymore. So I feel like ceiling is a little bit redundant, or like maybe the ceiling, it's like, it's going to be over. It's not going to be so much just like vertical. It's like over here or like over here, because you develop and your trajectory changes and you're kind of growing in all different directions. But like, players don't really have these arcs like in their careers anymore. You know what I mean? Like, at least to be like a successful, I think, modern player with a lot of longevity, that kind of stuff's going out the window. So that's my hope anyway, because I hate those conversations because they're super redundant, and it's based on like a snapshot in time, and it doesn't count for like players entering into plateaus of development where like someone can have an incredible year and then just like go work their ass off in the off season and just work on something so specific like their handle or something, and come back the next season and just be like, add another dimension to their game. Like, training methods have changed, like nutrition has changed, like all this stuff has changed. So like, ceiling, I hope, we'll just smash that thing and we won't talk about it anymore. But no, of course we will, because some people love to just like be the naysayers in the room at all times, right? But I think it's going to force us to change the way that we even like project our hopes or like limitations on players.
Yeah, I hope so. And we also went through this like decade of maybe shorter, maybe a little bit longer, of players who we kind of like just changed what we expected from them, and it was like they need to be amazing right away, because that happened with a lot of players, and with the rise of like these prep schools and AAU, like players have never been more ready to enter the league, or at least that is our perception of them as professionals. Like, they're already mini professionals when they get into the league, which doesn't allow any grace or time. And so you see all the time players who it's their like 4th or 5th year, and all of a sudden everyone's shocked, wow, they're like good. And I didn't, as if we don't all kind of grow and develop at different speeds and need situations like maybe the guy switched teams and he's better because he's happier. And it's a better situation for him. Maybe he was traded to the Knicks instead of the Kings.
Yeah, there's franchises that are going to put ceilings on players for sure, but I don't think it exists. Yeah, like it doesn't have to exist out of that context as much anymore.
Yeah,
maybe we just all make a pact to ignore those conversations, because I think it's a conversation that is annoying me so much. Google John Morant. I guarantee, like, what is his ceiling? It's gonna be like the first thing if you go to the videos tab. I'm annoyed with it, but yes. Anyway, I guess we all are, which is great. The girlies. I'm so happy to be a girlies. The girlies.
Okay.
Okay, Katie, what's yours?
Okay. Should I give the preface of like why you wanted to change it to fun? But no, I don't. Maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, I don't remember actually what you said in the text.
Well, I felt kind of uncomfortable because my fuck was going to be like the unencumbered joy of NBA rookies. But then I was like, this feels predatory. And I don't want to say that. And then you said, we can make it fun. And I said, don't. That's just like PG-13 in it. So I actually changed.
Disney Channel original.
Yeah.
Movie.
And then we don't. Didn't get Disney Channel in Canada, so I didn't even have that.
I feel for you. No, that's so Raven. How?
I think you could have it on like satellite. So I had like one rich friend who was like, I have the Disney Channel. And you were like, oh shit, if you got invited to their house.
Katie, when you come visit me in Kentucky, we'll just watch a bunch of the best Disney Channel original movies. So do you know what this means? Hold on.
No.
Jordan, you know what that means?
Of
Harry?
course. So, Katie, let me explain it to you. So, I would practice this all the time because I had this theory that, not a theory, more like a dream, that I wanted to be on Disney Channel. After That's So Raven got canceled, I was like, they need another black girl. So I was really excited that this was my chance. But basically, in between movies and shows, it would be like the Disney Channel star, and you would see them in like their regular clothes, like regular people. And they'd be like, hey guys, I'm Jordan Liggins, and you're watching Disney Channel. And then they'd have like a magic wand, and they'd draw the Mickey ears. And you'd be like, oh shit, that was awesome. Even though you saw it every commercial break from someone different, it still fills you with joy.
I think the best one was Lizzie McGuire, Hilary Duff, because I was like, dude, your jeans are so fucking low rise. Like the amount of low rise jeans that I tried on after seeing her in the, hey guys, it's Hilary Duff, and you're watching Disney Channel. Yeah. Anyway, Katie, you will see.
You will.
Thank you for walking me through that. So I'll be ready for it.
Okay, so your fun is
no, it's not fun because I changed it. I don't want to do that. I thought about it a little bit more, and I was like, I don't want to deviate from the hard and fast rules of this very serious game. So my fuck is Summer League. I just realized that's what it is. Because to me, it's like, yeah, we go through the motions of like the regular season, the playoffs, you're kind of excited, but like you're sort of biding your time for this like weird hedonistic stretch in the middle of like the weirdest place on earth for like a sleepless, however long you stay, but like, a sleepless week and a half, and everybody is all in on it is the thing too. Because you also, like, aside from like a little bit of a sexy sneak peek, I think, of like the rookies to be, you've got like the superstars coming in now, right? Like who you don't ever know who's going to be courtside. One year I almost just like fell down into LeBron because I got pushed by a Japanese camera crew. But it was really exciting. So, like, you never know who you're going to run into. A friend of mine took a pic of, I think it was Stan Van Gundy talking to Rasheed Wallace one year, and I was so upset. I missed that specific interaction. So it's just like, yeah, it's like a hedonistic hodgepodge. And I realize it's the thing that, like, maybe I'm a poser, but it's the thing I look forward to most, like, through the whole NBA season.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's
did
really
you
fun.
stop yourself from falling into LeBron, or did you just fall short?
I like tripped and I like fell down on purpose so I didn't fall into him. So I embarrassed myself, but
Katie,
I did that for you, LeBron. Yeah.
I want to know what he smells like.
Should have.
Yeah.
But he probably would have just dropped me, or his security would have just grabbed me.
LeBron could catch you with a finger. Like
that's true.
You know what I mean? He's a big man.
I could. Yeah. I should have tried. Like it should have been a good trust fall exercise, but I didn't have the trust, so that's on me.
Reverse trust fall.
Yeah.
He'll learn. He'll be there next year and the year after. I can't wait for the summer league with his child. Although I am already very nervous.
I'm nervous.
So nervous.
I'm nervous for Bronny too.
Ooh, it could be
it's
fun.
Gonna be like Lonzo 3.0.
Yeah.
Because that was tough to watch actually.
Yeah.
That was probably I love summer league too, but that one was so hard to watch. Just the pressure of that first game. He was like, he never played basketball before in his life. It was so hard to watch.
Jordan, were you there?
I wasn't there in person, no.
Oh, okay.
But I
was we were at the same game.
No. I was watching on TV. Actually, last summer league with Spinsters was my first summer league in person.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was so fun.
It's so fun. It's like, that my first one was the Zion earthquake year, and like that was my first game going that night, and then there was an earthquake, and I was just like, wow, it's really bumping in here. Everyone's shaking the seats, and then everyone was running out of the arena, and it was like, oh yeah, you're not from California. It's an earthquake.
Oh, that's so scary. Had you ever experienced an earthquake before?
We had one in Toronto once, like maybe 10 summers ago, but it lasted for all of 2 seconds. And this one I remember was so strong that the Jumbotron was like swaying like a pendulum.
Oh my God. That's so scary.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I mean, I was like, wow. And everyone else was like, get out, emergency protocol.
You didn't have the earthquake drills in school.
Yeah,
like we
I had no idea. I was like, wow, these temporary bleachers are really rocking. And then someone was like, these are seats bolted into concrete. But yeah, you never know. You never know what's like going to happen at Summer League, right? What elevator you could be in with somebody who you're going to bump into, what kind of weird thing you're going to see, how late you're going to stay up. Beyond
natural disaster.
Natural disasters.
You're going to survive. Yeah. You never know.
Yeah.
Some earthquakes, like I was in LA for 6 years. Some earthquakes were genuinely like, oh my God, that was scary. Like, whatever. But I slept through almost every single one of them.
Everyone.
And even one time I was walking and it was the same thing, Katie, you were saying, except I didn't even feel it. But the little baby ones I felt, I genuinely was like, this is like, oh, it's an earthquake, because in the moment it's hard to understand what's happening, but they're very the small ones are a lot like when you're on a roller coaster and you go down the hill and your stomach goes up into your nose. You know that feeling?
Yeah. Yeah. The lurch.
Harry doesn't know that feeling. Harry, have you
never heard it said like that? Goes up into your nose. Yeah.
Not really. I haven't been on a roller coaster.
What do you mean not really?
Like I've been on a water big water style roller coaster, but
wow. Are you like a heights person?
Yeah, I'm trying to be on the ground.
That's fair. Yeah.
Until
the ground betrays you.
Yeah, the ground can actually shake too.
Right.
Yeah. I've slept through all of them except one. I think only one has woke me up from my sleep, but been a California girl my whole life. I've only felt like one.
Damn.
Wow.
Hard sleeper over here.
Yeah, that's a great quality to have. It really is. If you need to wake up, someone's going to wake you up. You know what I mean? But if you're a light sleeper, then you wake up from everything. I'd much rather. It's like overactive and underactive thyroid. I think I'd rather have overactive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, Harry?
I don't think we're going to get to thyroids in this conversation, but somehow.
We should do a bingo card of the words that we've said in this episode.
That would be a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, I was Googling what an overactive thyroid does to me when you kicked it to me, and I couldn't figure it out in the split second.
The most popular girl at our high school had an overactive thyroid, and she was so skinny. And that was the era when we thought everyone should be extremely skinny, and she was so annoying about it. She'd just walk around talking about her fucking thyroid. So that was my first experience with thyroids.
It's really stuck with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
One of the symptoms is being popular in high school.
Oh my goodness.
My Mary is somewhat predictable. I buried the lead a little bit, but or the opposite of buried the lead. It's Jordan Poole returning to the Warriors. where I think he's meant to be. I am privileged in this way, in that the Warriors, other than Kevin Durant, which is even kind of like all of our homegrown talent, has stayed, and it's like amazing, like Draymond and Clay and Steph, like, and even Looney. Like, we've had this weird core for 6, 7, 8 years. So this is, I would say, a toxic marriage, basically, because he can't leave, because I won't know what to do. Like, the only experience I've had is, getting to kind of, in a really fun, low stakes way, hate on Kevin Durant, because, he left to our team, but he also won us a championship. So it's sort of like, not too bad. If Poole leaves and, is an all-star, it's going to break my heart, especially if, like, somebody we keep instead of him, like a really tall, center who loves Rick and Morty, isn't that good. I will be, I just don't know what I'm going to do with those sort of emotions. So it's kind of like I'm married to him. I'm married to this idea in a way of like keeping him here, kind of in a bad way.
You want to marry him.
Yeah.
I want to marry him. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to marry him being on the Warriors. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Next time we should like really rethink this concept, because it's the clarity we're having to give like every 5 minutes, so it doesn't sound like we're proposing like that we marry and have sex with all of these people. It's like a little bit just not worth it. It feels like someone. And murder. Well, Harry, what did you do? I guess you were just happy when Harrison Barnes was gone, because he seemed like his time.
That's a tough one.
Had passed, because he was drafted too. What draft was he?
Yeah, we did draft him. That was a weird one because he had such a tough finals that year, and within the week prior, or I guess the second we knew we weren't re-signing him is the second we knew we were signing Kevin Durant. So I got to be honest, I was kind of thinking about other things at that time. But you're right. He is our one guy, and I have always like had a soft spot for him. I think he's great. And it's funny now. I mean, he would be so great for this Warriors team that has a lot of 6'4" people and not too many people who can hold the ball, at the low block.
Yeah, they brought Iggy back. Maybe he'll make his way back, make his rounds.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Iggy came back.
Yeah.
Who's the team that most like brings people back? The Heat?
Just wherever Doc Rivers plays.
No, it's just, well, I guess Tibbs is different, because it's like you're not going back to your original team. You're just going back to this man who loves you.
Yeah. Also, fun fact about that, Taj Gibson has been on every single Tibbs team. Isn't that? I just randomly looked that up when I was watching the Knicks. And he has stayed faithful, man. Like, he loves that coach every time he's on that team.
And his whole, like, he's had a whole career of just grinding. He just isn't recognized. It's very typical, like, glue guy type thing. And Tibbs loves that. And I think Taj just is okay with
fits
like
in.
People not being, super loud about him or whatever. That's nice. That seems like nice. Someone who a like regular non-athlete, that seems like the kind of person like wouldn't have social media. Taj Gibson, I'd like to be his friend.
Yeah. Just a random fun fact for you. That was a good one, Harry. That was a good one. That was a good one. I wish you a happy marriage. And I hope when you guys propose to Jordan Poole at the end of the season that he says yes and he stays.
I do too.
And hopefully it's not like such an insulting discount, but it's also like a good solid, okay, like this still benefits both sides. Do you know what you could spend on him? I don't know. I mean, I have an understanding of their cap situation, but not the specifics. I just said cap situation.
I don't. And I also think a weird thing that is, again, new to Warriors land is, like, if you're Jordan Poole, you definitely think you should be starting over Clay. Like, and I don't know what to do with that situation. Like, so why would
Talk
he?
about it.
You know, if it's like 85 mil and you can play 37 minutes a game and run 25 pick and rolls, or the same amount but you're backing up Clay, like, I don't think he would. I wouldn't fault him for wanting to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. I also think team environment does factor in, or from what I've, talked to players about kind of on background, that if you're having a good time, then you will allow more things. I'm not saying that is maybe something, but my guess is that the coaching staff and his teammates who like him a lot are being very transparent with him. And I think it's probably hard to, like, maybe after a season, if this continues and it's like, whoa, Clay's been back for like a full calendar year and like this is still happening. But I'm sure, like, he's an athlete. Jordan understands that, like, people need time.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yep.
But
no, it
might not be
that's
as
fair, though.
But I get what you're saying. That is a situation that hopefully doesn't continue to play out with, like, the current way that he's playing Clay.
Yeah, and I do. Especially even yesterday we played so bad, but Clay is starting to look like Clay again, especially on defense. He's, like, moving much better than he was. So I think Clay should start over Poole, but I am not Jordan Poole. I'm just a guy who produces this podcast.
And wants to marry. You're just a guy standing in front of a pool, asking
wanted
him
to
to marry him. Okay, my marriage is, I am marrying I'm marrying Cade's future. Cade Cunningham's future. To quote Nate Silver, I've seen enough. Like, I'm all in.
See what I needed to see?
I was nervous in a way that I felt bad for him at the beginning of the season. Statistically, like, in terms of the things that were not going super well earlier on, turnovers haven't really changed all that much, but it's just more of like to quote Harry, a vibe shift where he not all of a sudden, like all of March really, and even before, you can see some self-assurance with, like, every step that he's taking, and when he's scanning and, like, how he's moving, and driving, which is such a huge part of his game, was also a little flaky. And then now it's even the ones that aren't successful, you can kind of see the intention behind it in a way that before you couldn't. And that's something very typical for rookies. They get lost all the time. But I do think that now you can see a good, like, sense on him. And also it's understanding how to use his length in an appropriate way, like against NBA players. I said, when did I write this? I don't know. I wrote this about Luka, maybe his rookie year, that he's like he moves like a stick shift car that, like, somebody can't drive well when he's driving. Like, it's very jerky. He's selling stuff a lot, and he's excellent at that. And it's surprising to see him do it, or it was at the time, because it is like an athletic thing to do for someone who was regarded as, like, very unathletic. I think that Cade represents the same, like, shift. Like, he can kind of stop, start, move. Like, his
super
shoulders
disruptive.
are all the way over here.
Yeah.
And then how did they get over here? Yeah, exactly. The ball is not where you think it is. Like, someone you have to watch closely. But I don't think he's like a stick shift. I think he's like those guys outside of a car dealership or like a jewelry store. Yeah, these floaty guys, like, you know what I mean? Like those. Yeah, I genuinely, because, like, watch him drive. He's literally like. So anyway, love Cade. I'm happy for him. I think that some of the expectations of like, well, he's just gonna be, another Kemba. He's already proven he's more than capable on defense. So, it sucks to be saying like he's gonna just be another Kemba.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard that one. That's tough. That's
damn,
a tough
did
one.
I start that? Yeah. Anyway, I'm loving seeing the bag of tricks. I'm loving seeing them adjusted to NBA defenses, and he's passing the right time. He's selling the right time. Little inflatable arms. Yes, I'm gonna marry his future.
That's a good one. He's very generous, I will say. He's very generous. He's always looking for his teammates. I think he's like always looking for the best shot, not necessarily his shot. That's great in a rookie, and you want that going forward. And he's so happy for the small amount of wins that the Pistons get. He doesn't get down. He doesn't really get like bogged down in the rest, which is rare.
Yeah.
Well,
true.
I wish you.
Okay, sorry guys, we've got
marriage.
six minutes.
That's okay. Yeah, happy matrimony.
Yes.
Thank you. Marriage.
Go ahead, Katie. You can go.
Okay, mine, I guess it represents stability, warmth, longevity, trust, but I want to marry the house swap between Larry Nance Jr. and Josh Hart.
Love this.
I love that this is happening. I love that Larry Nance Jr. was like, it's weird to wake. No, Josh Hart woke up in Larry Nance Jr.'s house with his wedding photos all over the bedroom walls. And he was like, this is going to take some getting used to. And Larry Nance Jr. was like, can you give me the keys to your wine cellar? Because Josh Hart's a big wine guy and has a very elaborate cellar system. Which I've talked to him about before. But yeah, like these guys, and they're also friends, So I just, love that this happened because it does take some of the sting off of a trade, in a situation that can be precarious, but they're living in each other's like creature comforts. It's very intimate to me. They're obviously going to decorate as they go along, which is the fact that these two guys were like, this seems like the easiest and nicest thing to do. Do you want to just switch houses? Okay. And they're still, but they also seem like they're in no particular hurry to take down the personal effects, which is very lovely to me. So yeah, I want to marry the hell out of that.
That sounds like the holiday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
they're, like,
gosh. That's exactly what it is. Where they house swap and then I think they are, they're both already married and in love. But I was like, where if they find love? No, this is... When I read that made me so happy. It was like it was meant to be, and they were already friends from the Lakers, I think. And why don't more people do this? Like, why isn't there a network of let's switch houses if this trade happens?
Because you're going to a nice house, right? Like, it's not going to be a dump.
Yeah.
Do they? What if it was like farmhouse chic though?
I mean, you can switch the decor. Yeah, you can get that switch pretty quick. You can like hire people to do that at that level,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was right. They can just hire people to do things. Forget about that. It must be so nice.
A little too rustic, yeah.
A little too rustic for me, yeah. Oh. Okay, I'll go quick. I want to marry the two-man game that is happening right now between Embiid and James Harden. It is just a basketball nerd like myself and how they have so many options. If James Harden is coming off a screen, the defense is confused every single time. Do we go with Embiid? Okay, James Harden's going to make a layup. Do we double team James Harden? Embiid is going to pop for the three. And every time I love it because this is exactly what, as in youth basketball, when we'd play 3-on-3 cutthroat, like those are what the coach is saying. You have so many options off of the pick and roll, and it is lovely to see. I love it so much. I want to marry it just over and over, them just doing pick and roll.
You might have some competition from Daryl Morey, though.
I know. Daryl is not. No,
get in line, Daryl.
Get in line.
There are some things that make me nervous about Harden, but it's not anything that's new. It's kind of
Yeah.
like the playoff end of game flailer, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Their whole situation is a little, we don't know how long this is going to last, but, and them individually, and especially Harden, who I think is like a serial dater when it comes with teams.
Yes.
But
to like his duos, like his superstar partner, like he's a serial dater. He's literally, since Dwight, has bounced person to person to person to person.
He's all around. But this, just this pick and roll 2-man game is what I want forever as a basketball fan.
All right, well, I will not object in the pews.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not standing up.
Great. I already have a wedding plan, so this is
Good.
You already have a
This
dress.
fit right in.
Okay, great. Well, I guess that's an episode. I literally don't remember anything I said. And my hair just progressively got curlier.
You just went into like a fugue state. It was good.
Well, that's our show. Make sure to subscribe to the Basketball Feelings newsletter by Katie Heindl and follow her on Twitter at WTEVS. And leave us a voicemail. We still want to hear your feelings. They are valid here. Call us at 502-874-4453 or send us an email at spinsters@bluewirepods.com to be featured on the show. And as always, shout out to our great producer, Harry Krinsky.
Hey, I'm Marcus. I'm calling from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Obviously a huge Bucks fan. So, I'm going to go agree here. I want us to trade the 31st pick for Aaron Holiday and then get Alex Antetokounmpo as an undrafted rookie and just run it back with the brothers. Just run it back. Thanks.